Soft Luddington. How did they know I was soft? Okay. Today I will be answering fan mail. So let's get started. At Nina Ayupa, since it is currently Sagittarius season, what would you say is the most Sagittarius thing about you? I think I'm stubborn, which is a Sag trait. And I think that I also am pretty spontaneous, and I do get a little bit itchy when I've been in one place for too long. I'm always looking to like move or see somewhere new or travel. So I sort of think those are probably the most Sagittarius things about me. Gales on Insta has asked, was the change in your hair color your personal choice, or was it for character development? The truth is that it's a little bit of both. People that follow me on Instagram know that I often change my hair during hiatus, which is the break between seasons. I had gone a little bit blonder, and I asked Krista Vernoff, our showrunner, if I could keep that color. And she said, it has to make sense for the storyline, so let's have Jo fry her hair off trying to do her own hair as a new mom and do that in the premiere, which is what happened. But let's have you go really, really bleach blonde, which is what I have here, with lots of roots, of course. Gray Extra asks, what would you consider is the highlight of your acting career? I think there are two. I think obviously it has to be getting on Grey's Anatomy because it's an incredible series that's been on the air for a very long time and is iconic. And also getting to play Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games because it introduced me to gaming and that fandom and also motion capture. And both, I think, Jo Wilson and Lara Croft are just incredible, strong women that it's an honor to play. So those two gigs, I would say, are my highlights so far. At Love Carmack asks, you've played Jo Wilson for almost 10 years. How does it feel to play a character for this long? It's a really interesting scenario to be in. I think it's a very unique scenario to get to play a character for this long. What's amazing is that at some point your lives start to kind of parallel. So Jo has a 1-year-old, I now have a 1-year-old. In a weird way, it feels like she's my best friend, like a buddy for me because I've been living with her for so long. It's an interesting experience having played someone for 10 years. Great Extra. Was there ever a time when you had to give up something that was important to you? Sleep. As a mom, I realized that I will never ever sleep again. I have 2 kids. If it's not my 1-year-old teething, it's my daughter. The other night she woke me up to just fix her blanket, 3 a.m. So sleep is something that I wish I didn't have to give up, but clearly have to. Love Carmack asks, on Grey's Anatomy, your character and Chris Carmack's character are living together and helping each other out. Can we expect them to be together someday? Well, it's a very loaded question. They're definitely best friends, and with the reveal of Link having a previous crush on Jo, it has definitely sort of opened Pandora's box for her, which can never be closed now. And so she has feelings, and where those feelings go and if they're reciprocated are a story that will be told, but things are about to get very, very tricky on Grey's Anatomy, as per usual. Okay, at Grey's Fair, in what ways do you relate to Jo and how are you different? I think our upbringings are obviously very, very different, but I do think that I relate to Jo in that she's pretty headstrong, and like I said, I can be stubborn and she can be stubborn too. And I do think that she loves love. I think that she's someone that is needing that in her life, and I think that that's something that I have always felt like too. So those are the ways we're different and similar too. Soft Luddington. How did they know I was soft? Okay. Says, what would your dream job be if you didn't become an actress? Okay, 2 things. I would want to be a ghost hunter. I don't know why, but like I just love those shows, but I'm terrified of ghosts, so I don't really know. I'd want to never meet a ghost, but hunt them somehow. And okay, so when I was a kid, I watched the movie Twister, which was amazing. And I wanted to be a tornado chaser person. I don't even know what the job name is for that, but that. And I think watching Twister at 13 qualifies me to do that job. So those two. Ray's Scenes asks, what has been your biggest screw up in the kitchen? Who says I screw up in the kitchen? It's true, I screw up all the time and everyone knows it. I really honestly did poison about 12 people one Thanksgiving with a turkey that just wouldn't cook. Okay, in my defense, they say, like, it'll cook in 2 hours or 3. It's never that time. It's like a 2-day cooking situation with any turkey. And by like 10 p.m., I was like, we have to eat. I just have to take it out and cut it. Like, I think it's done. It wasn't done. And hand to God, someone puked. And people did have food poisoning. So that was not good. And that's why I buy now a already cooked turkey that I just like microwave, basically. Was it difficult at first to manage an American accent on set? Do you ever slip and have to redo a scene? Yes, so I think that it was maybe my first or second role as an American. I think that in the early seasons it was harder, and if you watch my Instagram stories when I'm on set, I always stay in an American accent during filming. Kevin McKidd, he goes in and out of his accent. I always stay in an American accent because it's really helpful for me. And sometimes even when I'm home, I try and like stay in it because I do make mistakes. I've definitely had to redo and do a take again. If I get ADR notes and I have to go in and do a voiceover for something, it's usually like a little note that says British. So yes, I make mistakes all the time. What has been your favorite storyline so far about your character Jo on Grey's Anatomy? I think that it has to be the episode and storyline about where she meets her mom and kind of learns about how she was brought into this world.
I was born at Emerson Hospital. And soon after, I was left at a fire station on 47th Street. I think that you're the person who left me. I think you're my mother.
It's a very powerful episode, and it was incredible and moving to film. So that would be my favorite storyline so far. Love Carmack asks, if you could choose another character to play on Grey's Anatomy, who would it be? Oh my God, I would love to be Addison Montgomery because I feel like she had one of the most amazing entrances on Grey's Anatomy. She like came in, she confronted Meredith, and you're sleeping with my husband.
I'm Addison Shepard.
Shepard?
And you must be the woman who's been screwing my husband.
And it was just instantly iconic. And so yeah, I think Addison, that's who I'd want to be. I don't even know why I'm suggesting this because it could lead to death, but I haven't been in one of those scenarios where there's been like a bomb or a plane crash, or I feel like just once I need Jo to be involved in some kind of absolutely catastrophic disaster, which I don't even know why I'm saying that because she might not make it out and I've just sealed my death on the show. But I do feel like she needs to be part of something like crazy, terrible, near-death dramatic. Don't take my suggestions, by the way, writers. Camilla Luddington asks, how long does it take to prepare for a storyline so that you'll bring the right amount of realism and emotion to a scene? The truth is we don't often know about storylines. I think that people think we know about storylines months before they happen. We know like a week before they happen. So we spend that week, in fact, I just called one of our writers, Meg, on the way here to say, I just read this script. What does this mean? A great thing about Grey's Anatomy is that we have very close relationships with our writers and we are able to hop on the phone and say, wait, explain to me why this is happening, or I don't agree with this. And does it change all the time? No, it doesn't always change, but there's definitely that open conversation happening all the time with all of us because our characters do crazy things and they make bad decisions all the time, and they make great decisions too, but these conversations happen a lot. So in that week, there's a lot of phone calls that take place when a big storyline breaks. We get to have lots of discussions with the writers. And then the honest truth is I spend a lot of time driving in Los Angeles, and on the way to work and on the way back, I feel like that's my transition into character. And I imagine how she's feeling, and I sort of put myself in that situation. I go back to her past, and then I play music that helps me prepare for the scenes. And so about a week, a lot of car journeys and a lot of music and calls to writers to discuss it. Last question. Camilla L. News asks, what advice would you give to your younger self? Okay, so you guys, my first kiss was horrendous, like really bad. And afterwards, I literally hid under a table. It's another story, but I would go back in time and tell her it's not always going to be like that, because I was genuinely horrified and I was confused. I was like, why are people kissing? Like, why is this a thing? It should end immediately. So I'd go back and tell my younger self, you will have good kisses in your future. Thank you everyone so much for asking me. These are incredible questions. I hope you enjoyed my answers. And ask me anything on Twitter. Well, not anything, but like these kind of questions on Twitter, and I will try and answer them too whenever I get the opportunity.